Finally. I didn't know if I was gonna find anything here or not. I'm down the road about a half mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile from our backyard. This is one of the bucks I've been getting pictures of all winter, and probably a few sporadic pictures, yeah, for sure, during the rut too. There was 3 10-pointers I had on camera in the backyard this year, and all 3 of them made it through. They're like 2 and 3 year olds. Maybe one of them might be 4. Anyways, this is a property, like I said, just down the road, like about 20 acres. I found a couple sheds here in the past off of some of the bucks in the backyard. I mean, literally my food plot's probably, backyard is, like I said, about half mile that way. So this is all like where a lot of these bucks are bedding. Not all of them, but just been gritting a lot of this grass and cattails and buckthorn. And got lucky right here at the end. Their house is like right up there. Just kind of heading back. I just literally just covered almost all this swamp except this edge right here next to this other field. And I was just walking up like this, and I glanced over. Sure enough, this might be the biggest of the 3 10-pointers. I mean, it's for sure, there's 2 of them that look really similar. I don't know if this is, oh, that's been down a while. Not sure quite which one this is. There was one that I was thinking could be 4 because he looked a little heavier on the camera in the pictures. The other one didn't look quite as heavy. This one might be the in-between one. But yeah, I'll put up a bunch of pictures on the screen of what this guy looks like. He was obviously, like I said, one of the ones I was hoping to find. All right, here we go. Yeah, been down a while because not this one, but the other one of them was still holding for sure middle of February, like right around the 20th, 15th. But these other 2 I think dropped early because I hadn't seen them for a while. I think they dropped like early February. The 2 that look similar. And this is one of them. Anyways, yeah, pretty nice shed. I don't see any coyote chew marks on the tines, so this is probably kind of right where it fell, right in here. I don't know what he was maybe budding here or just kind of walking around and stuff, but I did find in that little buckthorn thicket right back there, I found a pretty good 4-point side, about like this, 3 years ago. That was the other nice shed I found here, but yeah, pretty cool to find at least one off of the backyard bucks. No way. I'm literally just on a beeline back to the house. They have a little bit of grass with cedars here. I never find anything in because it's just all doe bedding. This might be the match. I don't know. So literally, like I said, their house is just right on the other side of these trees almost. There's like a little bit of grass here, a bunch of grassy trails that they mow. And boom. This is the match. It's gotta be. You know, I don't know. This might be the other one, like I said, which is cool because how similar they look. You know, that's not a match. This is the heavier one, I think. Although, maybe. I don't have to look at pictures. God, it looks similar, but like I said, they do look similar. With it being tines down, it looks a lot darker on this side. Yeah, that's probably a match. Let me look at the base here. Same kind of like oval shaped base. Yeah, I'm calling that a match as of right now, but after I look at pictures, I'll get a better idea. Wow, that's a pretty sweet 10-point set right there. They were I mean, I found them within literally 5 minutes. I've been here for probably hour, maybe hour and a half by now. The other one was, I don't know, 100, 150 yards away. Just completely random spot. I mean, I could have walked, I did walk a lot of the grass over there earlier because it's actually more sign on that side. It's all kind of a south-facing, grassy hill here. And this is the side with usually less sign. They do hunt this property a little bit, but or have relatives that do. I don't know, but sweet. Pretty good sign here. Let's go. I just came up on a super old shed. This is a little tiny public land spot next to the lake here, about maybe probably 3/4 of a mile from the house. And some of the bucks, I used to run cameras down here, but there's never really anything enormous, but like 2 and 3-year-olds at the best. But I don't recognize this shed. I have found sheds in here in the past, old sheds too, because this doesn't really get walked by many people. It's just a tiny little spot, kind of an overlooked spot, I guess. I don't know. And I have found sheds and got pictures of bucks in here that I see in the backyard occasionally. But I don't think I know this one. Well, right there it is. I got super lucky to even see it. It's like sitting in the shadows, and I'm just heading up this way. I seen it from behind me, like maybe 5 yards. I mean, we're talking really old. Are you kidding me? Man, is that old. Technically, that is my first ever drop tine shed. Thankfully, it fell here in the grass where it was, you know, it's been preserved for years, not really getting chewed. I mean, that should have been found like 3 years ago. That thing had to have been sitting here for at least minimum 3, maybe 4, who knows how long. And I've never gotten a picture of this buck with this rack. Maybe next year, the year after this, he looked a little different, and I don't know. But you can see that got injured in velvet most likely, and it was able to keep growing. Wow. Probably like just a 6.2-year-old, but man, is that cool. Wow. Definitely some beds right here, and this was most likely fell in a bed years ago. It hasn't really been moved since, probably. I don't know. Wow, that is crazy. You know, I've walked through here in the past, and I cannot believe this thing was sitting here the whole time. I mean, maybe a coyote moved it in the last year or two. I didn't really shed hunt here too hard last year, but I've definitely walked like right through here. But I don't know how I didn't see it, especially the year it was fresh. All right, so just kind of heading out now. I came up on another one here. This one's fresh. I can't say I really recognize this deer either. I mean, there was 3 nice 10-pointers. I found the one 10-pointer last night on private across the road. That's probably another half mile from here. This area and that spot is probably similar distance to the food plots in the backyard, but there was a couple other 8-pointers. This is probably one of them. I'd have to dig through pictures, but man, I don't really recognize it. Probably been down for a little bit. Wow, he's got kind of a lot of dirt and grime on here. I don't see any coyote chew marks, so maybe that's just the way it is. It looks like it's dirt, but I don't know. That should be kind of identifiable with that really small brow, kind of high up on the beam too. Huh. All right, so I'm out here today in the rain. Just came up on my first one here. Been out here for surprisingly a good amount of time already. This bedding area behind me is where me and my cousin jumped up, and I seen the target buck along with 2 nice ones holding. That was 2 weeks ago. I literally just found a shed by this little creek here. I was heading up into here, and there's pretty heavy trails crossing this canary grass here. So I just like glanced over. I seen that, you know, a little bit of white there. I thought it was just like another stick or weeds, but I walked over here, and sure enough, I mean, that's like one of the if not the first ever shed I've ever found on like a creek crossing, or I've never found one by a fence crossing. I mean, obviously these deer probably just jump this. They don't walk. I mean, maybe they walk down and then go through. It's not really that deep. But he might have just been messing around with this thing right here too. I don't know. Just a little guy. That might even been here last time we were in here 2 weeks ago. But like I said, this property, the landowner let 2 other guys in here before us. So that's why I'm in here today. The big buck still might even be holding. I don't even know. So I'm gonna keep on walking this. We'll see if I can pick up anything else today. Oh, look at that. That did not fall here. There's like a lot of coyote chew marks on pretty much a lot of the tines. So I don't even know if that fell here. It's really dark, which is meaning it's probably really fresh and it did fall here, or it fell like in the woods or something. A coyote dropped it off here before it went across the creek here. I don't know. Sweet. Well, I'm still in this thick tamarack buckthorn bedding area. I just camp on like a picture perfect find. Unbelievable. All right, so that ditch is right out there, and about 200, maybe 300 yards that way is where I found that that first little one. And right where I found that first little one is where I had filmed those bucks 2 weeks ago. 3 of them, all at least like this, were still holding. This has to be one of them. Wow. Again, a really nice dark antler, probably pretty fresh like I was saying. Wow. There's even, yeah, look at this right here. Here's a bed right here. All this hair. I'm really only seeing this one bed, but those bucks had to have been bedding, you know, in here quite a bit together. Full wax ring on it. Yeah, really good color. Just a tiny little G4, pretty good beam on them. This has got to be just like a pretty nice 3-year-old or like a really nice 2-year-old. It's pretty hard to tell between these 2 and 3-year-olds sometimes, but yeah, it's a pretty cool buck. He should definitely be pretty nice this year. He'll probably get taller, everything, man. This is kind of a tighter rack looking buck, but man, that is nice. He's even got like really dark stuff on his tines. I think that's from the poison sumac. There is some sumac in here. I've seen quite a few of them rub. They love rubbing the sumac. If you ever get that stuff on your hands, it starts to like, you know, kind of like swell up your hands, and it leaves like this black residue on your hands or arms. I got it on me once, but that's probably what that's from. All right, at a different spot now. This is my relative's land where we got a couple little food plots. This is where that giant 8-pointer was that I was getting a couple pictures of here. He was mainly way down there by the river, so I don't think I'm gonna find him in here, but there's a couple other smaller bucks I was getting pictures of with half racks and that were in here in January and February. So there was one buck that shed in like December, so this could be him up here, but looks like a 4-point side. Still raining right there. Just absolutely perfect conditions. I mean, days like today is like when you feel like it's almost impossible to walk by a shed. It's getting a little darker now. Probably got maybe 45 minutes of light. You can see this stuff in here. It's just insanely thick. I got to come through here this year and cut some better deer trails and just open up this stuff so they can move through here more and bed in here more. This is like insanely thick honeysuckle. Don't really recognize it off the top of my head. This is, okay, I think I know which buck this is now. I think I do. There was a couple nice 2-year-old bucks like this that made it through here. It was like a nice, kind of a heavy 8. Then there was like a, this 10 is exactly the same on the other side, I think, with this tiny G4. And there was like a little bit wider, taller tine 10. And like I said, there was like an 8-pointer that shed in December. But this is a buck, I think, well, whatever. It's already chewed. There's a lot of squirrels in this woods. Almost all the sheds I always find in here are chewed, but that's why I'm in here today, before the squirrels get to them. And hopefully I can find at least one side to that big 8, but I'll probably be in this area tomorrow a little bit more, or maybe early next week. We'll see. This is clearly right in a deer bed right here. Nice open spot. Awesome.